Hi children, today in our class 5th we are going to study about the light and sound. How are you children? I think you are listening to my classes regularly, right? Today we will discuss that light and sound, that is chapter number 4 in our 5th class. See children, what is that? We know that the sun gives us light. Who will give you light? The sun will give you light. As night falls, we use different objects to give us light. Till we don't get night. Okay, after 6 p.m. till we have not, sunset has not happened till that there is no need of light. Okay, when one sunset happened, it becomes dark. At that time, we used to search for some torch light, a candle, lamp, okay, etc., bed lamp, etc. Because we need some sort of light. There we don't have sun at that time, so that, right. So we use different objects to give us light. Those different objects are, one is candle, one more is a lamp, and this is bed light, and this is torch, etc., light, so on. Alright. Next thing is, can you see anything when you enter a dark room? See children, once if there is night, generally we are going to afraid in order to go inside the dark room. Is it right? See, we don't see anything like this. So this here also there is bed, same bed here also, but there was no lighting here. Here it was lighting. It is lighting, right? So that is why we are able to see the bed. But here we are not able to see the bed. The reason is we don't have any light. So in the dark room we cannot see. No, the moment you switch on the bulb or tube light, then only we can see anything inside the room. Otherwise it will be very dark, right? And the next thing is, can you read a book with lights off? If you switch off the light and at night time, can we read the book? Is it possible? No. In order to read the book, we should have light. Okay, light. Then only we can read the book. Right. Understanding the light. We shall now try to understand the concept of light. What is that? The light helps us to see. Why the light? What does the light do? The light will help us to see the objects. The sun is the main source of heat and light on the earth. On the earth, who is the main source of light? Sun. Sun is the main source of light. See here. The sun, candle, diya. Diya means deepam in Telugu. And lamp are the examples of the objects that gives us light. Okay, here is the sun, here is the candle, diya, okay, torch light, bed lamp, light, etc. In object that gives light is called an object. An object that gives light. Okay, the object which gives light is called luminous object. See here children, this is the new term for you. What is that? Luminous. Luminous means which gives the light by its own. Which gives the light is called luminous. For example, bulb will give you light, sun will give you light. Okay, so the things, a candle can give you a light. The things which can give you light is called what is known as luminous objects. For example, paper, table, knife, kite, right? We are having kite here, table, paper are there, and bed are the examples of the objects that do not give light. So we are having many objects which they do not give light, as well as we are having the objects which can give light. Okay, an object that do not give light is called non-luminous object. So this should be remembered children. One is an object which gives light of its own is called luminous object. The object which does not give light is called non-luminous object. Okay, in general speaking, the object which gives the light of its own, example sun. Sun will give you light of its own, that is called self-luminous. In all other one are, they will give light. Bulb we are going to get the light bulb through electricity. With the help of something, it is giving light. Okay, so they will be called as luminous objects. Self-luminous means with their own. Self-luminous, luminous, non-luminous. Self-luminous means which can give light by its own is called self-luminous. And the second one is luminous, which can give light. That's it. Dash light, tube light, torch light, okay, bulb, all are luminous. And non-luminous means this pen, you, me, we cannot give light. Okay, we are non-luminous bodies. Right. When light falls on any object, we can see it. See children, this is very, very, very important. In order to see an object, if you want to see an object, definitely the light should fall on that object. Okay. Non-luminous objects only, we see the non-luminous objects only when the light falls on them. This is not busy children, this is we see. We see the non-luminous objects. Non-luminous means which they do not give light. Chair, table, pencil, pen, okay, all are come under non-luminous bodies. The objects only when we can see them when light falls on them. If the light falls on, we can see another person in the dark when light falls on him because he is a non-luminous body. Bag is a non-luminous, chair, table, pencil, pen, etc. Right? So, next we go for what is known as shadow. What is the next concept? Shadow. You never notice a dark patch on the ground when you stand outside in the sun or under a street light. You never noticed? Have you ever noticed, children? Have you ever noticed the shadow? See, when you stand outside, see there is a person here and some sort of dark patch is formed here. See that. There is a person here and there is a dark patch here. There is a person here and there is a dark patch here. See here. Person here and there is a dark patch. What is this dark patch called? This dark patch we call it as shadow. Right? The dark patch is your shadow. Shadows form when the object blocks the path of the light. See children, this is very important. When the shadows are going to be formed, the shadow will be formed when the light blocks the particular object. Okay, suppose see, this is the person here. The person shadow is falling here. In the sense, this sunlight is blocking him and he is blocked by this sunlight and falling on this particular place. Okay, that is what we call it as shadow. Sometimes shadows are smaller and sometimes shadows are bigger than the actual size. Shadows may form smaller one, the shadows may be smaller one or the shadows may be bigger one. Shadow is always formed on the opposite side of the light. See, this is very, very important. Where the shadow is going to be formed, where there is light, exactly opposite to that of light, the shadow is going to be formed. In between light and the object, there will be object. I mean, in between light and the shadow, there will be object. Okay, then only on one side there will be light, on the other side there will be shadow. That shadow is going to be formed. Next, understanding the concept called sound. We shall try to understand. When we talk, we are making a sound. Our tongue helps us to make sounds. With the help of tongue only, we are going to make sound. Without the tongue, we cannot make sound, right? We hear all kinds of sounds with the help of our ears. With whom we are going to hear the sound? With ears. Without ears, we cannot hear the sound. With ears, we are going to listen different kinds of sound. Talking of a person, okay, singing of a bird, songs, okay, vehicle sounds, likewise bell ringing, example, like that. if you strike a steel tumbler, see we are going to have some sort of tumbler like this. This is steel tumbler, right? Steel tumbler with his, if we strike the steel tumbler, we are going to get what is known as sound. Okay, we hear various kinds of sounds such as ringing of a bell of the telephone and cry of a baby and barking of a dog, right? Cry of a baby we are going to listen, phone ringing, phone sound, and barking of a dog. Like that we are going to get different kinds of sounds. Some sounds are soft, okay, some sounds are very soft. For example, whisper, okay, I'm going here, like so. If you speak very slowly, that is called what is known as whisper. Some sounds are pleasant, for example music. A good music will give you a pleasant sound, okay. And for example, some sounds are very loud, for example ringing of a school bell, some, right, ringing of a school bell, and continuous horn beam of a vehicle. These kind of sounds are unpleasant. Horn beam, continuous horn will give you an unpleasant smell, unpleasant what is known as sound. We like to hear soft and pleasant sounds. We don't like to hear loud and unpleasant sounds. We don't like to hear loud and unpleasant sounds. If sounds are unpleasant, it is especially in traffic jam, the horns we are going to listen, that will be very unpleasant to listen the things, listen that sound. And right, next thing is noise. So what is noise? What is noise? See here, what happens when everybody in the class start talking loudly at the same time? See children, you will be in the classroom, the student, the teacher, first bell has been ring, the second period should be started. At that time, you people, you children, you are going to speak loudly, all of the, so that it disturbs everyone and it will be very uneasy to listen, unpleasant to listen, right? Like this. Next thing is, what happens when all the vehicles start horning in the traffic like this? There will be huge traffic, so that the all vehicles will try to horn at the same time. That will be very horrible. We cannot listen that particular sound. We get loud and unpleasant sound is called, that sound we call it as noise. That is why your teacher generally says, please student, don't make noise. So noise is an unpleasant voice which is unbearable to hear. We cannot hear, okay, if there is any noise. Even in the fish markets, in the markets, there will be noise, okay, you are going to get, which is unpleasant. If you keep your eyes closed at that place and listen, you are going to get different kinds of noises which is very unpleasant, right? So that one we call it as noise. Too much noise disturbs us and bad for our health. See, even the too much noise is bad for our health. This is why we should learn to speak softly. Most probably we should try to learn to speak softly, okay. We should always play television, music system, etc. at low volume, so that we do not disturb the other members of our family and even our neighbors. So we should not disturb the other persons. In order not to disturb, what is known as, in order not to disturb, we have to keep the volume low as much as possible. So this is the end of the lesson children. So this is a small lesson for you and we shall try to answer some quiz questions. Uday, koncham paika. Now it's time to have a quiz question. See, the first thing is, you just pause it and try your own. Okay, you try to do that. Right. Okay, see now, which of the following is a natural source of light? Natural means it should not be man-made. It is not an artificial. It is called natural. It is sun. So we can see the objects when light dash falls on them. We have discussed in the topic. It's not stops, disappear or break. Sound is produced when the objects dash vibrate. Okay. So all sounds will get through vibration. This thing you are going to learn in future classes clearly, right? You just see vibration means staying at one place and moving in to and fro is called vibration. So we will discuss this topic clearly in our further classes, right? Which object reflects light? Which object will reflect light? Mirror, cloth, wood and paper. It is mirror. Which organ helps us to hear? We all know, people. You try to answer this in the comment box. Okay. So through which organ we are going to hear? Eye, ear, nose, skin. I am not going to answer this question. You try to answer, please. Alright. Next one. Which of the following materials is transparent? Transparent means through which allows light is called transparent. Which one? The glass is transparent. In all the other are not transparent. Glass. Alright. A ringing bell produces dash. The bell is ringing. Will it produce light, heat, shadow? No, it is sound. Why is shadow formed? Why the shadow is going to be formed? We already discussed the topic. Light bends, light blocked, sound stops, air moves. Light is going to be blocked there. Okay, we discussed it in our topic. Right. Sound travels through dash. Air only, solids only, air, water and solids, vacuum. It passes through air, water and solids. Which one does not produce light? Sun, candle, electric bulb, moon. Which one? Moon. Moon will not produce light. Actually, we are going to get light from moon because of sun, right? Sun rays are going to fall on the moon and that is going to be reflected for us. So moon will not produce light by itself. Okay, right. The next question is true or false? The sun is the main source of light. Right, it is true. The sound cannot travel in space. Yes, it is true. Sound will not travel in space. Light travels in straight line. Yes, it is true. We can hear sound without vibration. No. In order to hear sound, definitely we should have vibration. So it is false. Opaque objects form shadows. Yes, it is true. And the next topic is fill in the blanks. Light travels in a dash. Straight line. Next. We see our face in a dash. Mirror. So children, we see our face in a mirror, right? Sound is produced by what? Vibrations. Through vibrations, the sound is going to be produced, right? Next, we hear sound using our ear. Through our ear, we are going to hear the sound. A shadow is formed when light is blocked. We have to block the light. When the light is blocked, right? And next we are having the short answer questions. We shall try to answer this. Name one natural source of light. Daily in the morning we are going to see. What is that? Sun. What happened when an object vibrates? What will happen? It will produce sound, right? It produces sound. Right. Why do we need light to see things? Why? Because we can see the objects only when light falls on them, right? Because we can see the objects only when light falls on them. Them in the sense the objects. Give an example for a transparent object. What is that? Glass, mirror, glass, clean water and air. These are all. One is glass, water, the two clean water and air. Name one musical instrument that is produced by which produces sound. Okay, guitar, flute, tabla, drum, these are all they will produce what is known as sound. Okay, right. And now the moral of the day, children. See the last concept, honesty. See, we people should have honesty. We should not tell lies, children. If you have not done homework, you should say, sorry sir, I have not done. Next time I will not repeat the same thing. Definitely from tomorrow I will do the homework. That is the honesty. If you have this kind of honesty, it will build trust on you, children. Okay, teacher will get respect towards you, teacher will get faith towards you, teacher will get trust towards you, even mother and father, if you say truth and if you are honest, which is the foundation of success. So it is the foundation of success. So if you want to get success, children, definitely you should have honesty. Without honesty, you cannot get success. So children, definitely subscribe our channel. Okay, click the bell icon. If possible, you try to share as many as persons you like, right? So that everyone can learn the concept. I think if the concept is very good to you, definitely you give me the comment in your comment box. I am waiting for your comment, children. I have worked a lot for this. Okay, bye. We shall meet in the next class.